Late night glow on the YouTube screen. Sean B steps in where the cuts run deep. From a New York state of mind, she was born to see what gets lost in the dark, what they don't want to speak. Silk in her voice, but the questions hit hard. Pulling back the curtain, laying truth on the yard. Every hush-hush story, every shadow clue. She's piecing up the pain till the whole thing comes through. She don't chase noise, she follows the trail. When the headlines miss, she will still unveil. With a sharp-eyed soul and a heart that knows some stories need light so the healing can grow. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness ride. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. For the tears unseen and the cries turn low, she be lifting up the weight that the world let go. Every fact she finds got a purpose and pulse. Every case she touches makes the silence convulse. No cheap thrills, just grace and fire. Taking buried details higher and higher, where the whispers get drowned and the weak get missed. She's a soulful reminder they still exist. She can feel when the story ain't sitting right. So she walks through the dark just to bring back light. With that grown woman glow and infinite flare, she's reaching for the truth 'cause it's waiting there. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness ride. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. That city soul, that uptown grace, and a mind that can read what time can't erase. So gather round close, let the story unfold. Some truths need a voice, some hearts need a hold, and she won't let the quiet just fade away. She's turning low, whispers into words that stay. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness ride. Let the realness ride. Bringing dark today, bringing dark today. Giving lost names rhythm. hidden gets revealed, and every story matters.
Hey y'all. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey Buttercup. Good morning, lady. Excuse me. Hey Linda. What's going on, Steptoe? And there's the big drip. How y'all doing? How am I doing? I'm all right. I'm okay. You know, I'm all right. I'm probably better than all right, but right now that's just how I'm feeling. I'm sure to get better. You know, now that the wheels have started to turn for this trial, um, we're gonna emotionally. Hey, Smiley. Good morning. You're not late, love. We just getting started. Now that we've gotten over one hurdle that we simply couldn't avoid anyway, of one portion of this trial for our beloved, all we could do now is just sit with bated breath and wait for the hands of mighty justice to start to work. So that I said it with God, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. So I'm just sitting on faith right now, y'all. So as far as this case is concerned, we are going to get into Carter Ambrose. That's his last name. We're going to get into his father's testimony. Yesterday, there was not court. The judge had previous engagements that she couldn't get out of. So there was no court yesterday, none at all. The father, however, testified before um, the mother did. And that's why when she was being questioned, you would hear the prosecutor say, well, you heard what he said, didn't you? And she said, I did. So, yes, now we get to see who handsome Carter looked like. Carter looked like his father, complexion and all. He was spitting image of his father. So, we're going to jump right in and get into this.
Please. Kadeem Ambrose. Can you spell that for the court reporter? Kadeemambroose. Thank you. Mr. Ambrose, where do you live?
I live in McDonough, Georgia currently.
Okay, currently. You live in Middle Georgia at all?
I used to.
Okay. When was that?
I moved from Middle Georgia in 2021.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
I am a firefighter with Gwinnett County.
When you lived in Middle Georgia, how were you employed?
I was a firefighter with the city of Warner Robins.
Okay. So did you live in Warner Robins when you worked for them?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know Kiana Davis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you know her?
She's the mother of my child.
Okay. Were the two of you in a relationship?
Yes, sir.
How long did that relationship last?
Approximately 4 years, 3 years.
Did y'all live together?
Hey, Terry. What's going on, big bro? Thank you.
First apartment was Sandpiper off of Leisure Lake. And the second apartment was off of Lakeview, I think is the name of the road.
Lakeview? So y'all lived together at Lakeview?
Yes, sir.
All right, when did y'all break it up?
March 2012.
Okay, were you guys living in Lakeview at that time?
Yes, sir.
All right, and who moved out?
I moved up.
So Ms. Davis stayed behind?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember the specific address
To our
of the
apartment,
Lakeview apartment?
11 something. I really don't remember.
Okay. Was that apartment in Houston County?
Yes, sir.
And do you see Ms. Davis in Portland today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is she wearing?
He's wearing a white and gray sweater.
For the purposes of the record, he is identified the defendant. Now, you said y'all had a child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What was that child's name?
Carter Amari Ambrose,
And when was he born?
January 14, 2018.
2018. So I'm going to show you what's been previously committed to the evidence of State's Exhibit 12. Do you recognize that? What is it?
It's Carter.
It's Carter. When was that photo taken?
This photo was taken right before I took him to daycare. I think it was November 12th,
November 12th?
2012.
What were you guys doing that day?
That was in the morning, and I just got him ready to take him to daycare. And we just started in the morning, brushed teeth, eat breakfast, and we left the house around 7:30.
When you took him to daycare?
Yes, sir.
Where was daycare?
Daycare was with Miss Faye off of Russell Parkway.
Is that the last time you saw him alive?
Yes, sir.
So I want to back up a little bit. So you took him to daycare. Did you have him that week?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Where were you living at the time?
230 Catlin Circle off of Receiving Boulevard.
And did he go to daycare that week?
No, he did not.
Did he stay with you?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And so you said you were a firefighter?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what's your schedule like?
We worked 24/48, so it was 24 on, 48 off.
Okay. So if you were off, did you keep Carter at home?
Most of the time. Sometimes when I'm off, I work a part-time job, so I just pick up shifts elsewhere. But if I'm fully off, then say 50% of the times I have him.
And that Thursday when that picture was taken, how was Carter?
Carter was perfectly fine
Was he growing up?
when he was not,
Did he seem sick at all?
when he did not.
Let me ask you this, did he have any breathing problems?
He did.
He did what kind?
So he had like respiratory problems where he would like get a rescue inhaler or a nebulizer at times.
Okay. He said nebulizers, that's like a machine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when he would need that machine, what would happen?
Well, for him to need the machine, sometimes it would be, like say if he has a cold or a fever, and then it always seems to tie in where his respiratory would like be affected.
Okay.
But mainly he would need it like if he's running a cold.
Okay. And what would be symptoms that he would need the nebulizer?
You would see more like him kind of struggling to breathe a little bit, like kind of using more like auxiliary muscles. So you kind of be, wheezing a little bit and like kind of struggling a little bit more to have a full breath.
Did you ever give him, so you would sometimes give him these treatments? Right?
Yes, sir.
Was throwing up ever a symptom that he needed breathing treatment?
No, sir.
So November 17th of 2020, that's the day that he died, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I kind of want to get what's going on in you with Keanu, your relationship at this point?
At this point, we still communicate. It's strictly on the basis of him. We don't hang out. We don't really talk much outside of, he needs this or anything pertaining to Carter. Because main focus of our conversation.
And what was the custody arrangement, or was there one?
It was never really a definitive custody arrangement. She was, sole caregiver for Carter at the time. And we just kind of made arrangements around my schedule on when I should have them,
Okay.
but it wasn't anything definitive.
Okay, was it anything that was like predictable?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that.
So we would look at my schedule and the days I have 2 days off back to back, usually like every other weekend, and also like at least 1 day out of the week. And if I can't get them every other weekend, then at least 2 days back to back in a week. So it'll just be communication on when to have them for 2 days back to back.
And so at this point, you and Keon are split up,
Yes, sir.
right? Were you seeing anybody now?
I was at home.
We were back in 2020, whatever, 2020. Do you know if she was seeing anybody?
Was she seeing anybody else?
Yes.
Not to my knowledge.
Keon.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
yes,
was Keon seeing anybody else?
yes,
Do you know that person's name?
yes, sir.
What's his name?
Keon Benson,
Keon Benton. Have you ever interacted with him before?
once.
Okay. So you met him once. Do you know if they live together?
I don't think so.
And so you dropped Carter off Thursday at daycare. That's the last you see him. Now, are you and the defendant, is there any child support agreement in place?
We recently, just got a court-ordered child support agreement.
Okay. And so were you ordered to pay child support?
Yes, sir.
How did you do that?
Through the court, well, initially, like when I moved, we settled on a fixed amount. And that's when I first moved out of the apartment. Then we talked about it and we settled on a set amount. But then later on, she wanted more and we talked about it and couldn't come up with the actual agreement because we were I was trying to stay away from actual court-ordered child support, but that's the route that we went with, and that's how we got to the court-ordered child support.
So it's quarter of child support. So how do you pay? How much was it?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, $750 a month. And it was set to be deducted from my paycheck.
Okay. When was it set to be deducted?
I knew it was supposed to start in November,
Okay.
and that's when the first payment was supposed to
Okay.
happen.
And do you know if that payment was taken from you in November?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And how much was it? Was it $750 that you said?
I think it was partial. I think it was the first half of that came out of my paycheck.
Okay. Was there something about you overpaid somehow?
Yeah, so I wasn't too knowledgeable on how child support worked. So I knew that I get paid on Thursday, and I think I messaged Ms. Davis saying, hey, can I go ahead and just make this first payment because I know that you have a 5-day grace period for your rent to be due. So I'm gonna go ahead and pay the first part through the child support app, and then whenever I get paid, if it's deducted from our paycheck, then we can just, even that out. Because I did not know if it was gonna be deducted from our paycheck that time.
Okay. So did you make kind of your own payment and then it was deducted as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That weekend, what all were you doing? So you dropped them off Thursday, then on Friday, so not Saturday, Sunday. Were you working? Were you at home?
I worked Friday at the fire station. I think I was off that Saturday, and I picked up a shift Sunday and Monday and Tuesday.
When you weren't with Carter, would you be able to speak to him over the phone?
Yes, sir. Most of the times I would either FaceTime or talk to him on the phone.
Would you do it like once a day or multiple times or?
Average once a day.
Okay. Okay. That weekend, did you get to FaceTime him at all?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you ask?
Yes, I did.
Who?
Ms. Davis.
Okay. And she had Carter that weekend,
Yes, sir.
right? she talk to you at all that weekend?
We talked, I think it was Friday, when we realized that the payment was deducted from, when the payment was deducted from my paycheck. And after that, that was the last time we talked because you blocked my phone number.
She blocked your phone number?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how did you figure out that she had blocked your phone number?
The calls wouldn't go through, text messages wouldn't go through, and this happened before, so I pretty much know how it is being blocked from.
Okay. How many times did you call and try to text?
I cannot recall.
Was she mad at you?
Yes, sir.
What was it about?
About overpaying on child support.
Okay. And the purpose of your calls or texts, were they just about the child support?
Before I was blocked, yes, so we had a phone call prior to, I think the last actual phone call that we had was about the child support and her saying that I messed up everything as far as the child support payments. And I'm like trying to still figure out how I did that and not really understanding how me making a payment through the DFAX app and then having it deducted from my check, how would that mess up anything?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she was mad at me about.
And were you calling as well to try to speak to your son?
That night I was,
Okay. Which night?
pretty much the entire weekend.
Pretty much the entire weekend?
Yes, sir.
And were you able to?
No, sir.
And so that was the weekend. Is the only way you tried to communicate with her text or email that weekend?
That weekend I had sent her just emails because calls and texts was not going through, so I had to email her to at least get some type of response to her.
So I'm going to show you what I've just shown the defense counsel. And it's marked as State's Exhibit 13. Can you please look at that? Do you recognize it?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
It's an email of me messaging Ms. Davis and an email of her replying back to my initial email.
Okay, do you remember when that email was?
Yes, sir.
When was it?
It was November 16th.
November 16th, so that Monday?
If I'm not mistaken, it was either November 16th or, yes, it was that Monday.
That Monday? And is this a fair and accurate representation of that email?
Yes, sir.
Has it been changed or altered in any way?
No, sir.
Your Honor, this time you offered evidence, State's 13.
As long as I can cross on it, I have no objection.
It's a minute.
So I'm going to put it up on television, we'll publish it. And that is behind you. So if you could turn around and take a look at it for me. So you said that you had texted her, or emailed, sorry, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at what time did you email?
10:43.
Okay, and she responded to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you please read to the jury what she responded to you?
Stop emailing me. No, you can't get or talk to Carter. Leave me TF alone. And that's the last time I'm gonna tell you.
What does TF stand for?
The fuck.
And that's the last time I'm gonna tell you?
Yes, sir.
So this is Monday. Do you have any idea what's going on, where Carter is? Who asked?
No, sir.
Did you guys have any communication after that email on Monday?
No, sir.
Was there a phone call?
No, sir.
Did she call you about needing to get Carter?
Oh, yeah. So later on that night, because she did call me And I'm not too sure if it was a call or a text. I know we did talk later on that night
Okay.
for her saying that I need to take off of work the following day so I can keep Carter.
Okay. She tell you why?
She said that he's sick and he's been throwing up.
He's been throwing up. She tell you how much he's throwing up?
No, sir.
She tell you if anything that happened to him?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you take work off and,
I did not.
okay. Why was that?
I didn't take off of work because I was pretty much begging to even see him, FaceTime him, and I would get no response. And even to the point of like, I would kind of like make concessions with him. Like, if you let me FaceTime him and see him, then I'll take off work and I'll keep him. And those were going unanswered. And the only thing she told me was just that he's been throwing up and he's sick. I need to take off work.
You wish that you had?
I did.
Was that the end of your communication with her for the time being?
We talked Tuesday morning when I was already at my part-time job, and that's when she told me that Carter's being rushed to the emergency room now. I need to get back.
You remember what time that was?
It was in the morning time. I said approximately 8 or 9.
Did she say what was wrong?
No, she just said that he's being rushed to the hospital. She didn't say what was wrong.
Okay, and he was being rushed to the hospital, so where was your part-time job at that time?
I was on the ambulance in,
Ambulance in Dublin, are you EMS?
yes, sir.
Okay. So did you drop everything and head to the hospital?
Yes, sir.
And where was the hospital?
It was Perry Hospital off of, like, pretty much Watson and
Perry, is that even on Perry, or was it Peach County?
Peachtown.
Okay. It was Peach County. Did she say anything about who had taken him? If he went to a pediatrics office?
I'm not sure if she did.
Okay. So all you knew was that he was being taken home?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you end up making it to the hospital?
I did.
When you got there, was Carter alive then?
He was already deceased at the time. She called me before I got to the hospital, told me that he was deceased.
Okay. And when you got to the hospital, what did you do?
When I got to the hospital, I came through the emergency bay, the ambulance bay, and they led me to the waiting room. That was kind of off to the side, and that's when saw Kiana and Keon there.
Were the police there?
They had hospital police staff in the building, in the waiting room as well.
How long did you stay at the hospital?
We had to wait a while before we could actually go see his body. And I stayed until, I can't say how long I stayed until it was done.
So you were ready to go?
Well, until until we went to see him and in the room, and we pretty much said our last goodbyes with him at the time. And I think that's when the coroner was coming, and that's when we left.
Let me ask you this, so you guys lived separately. Did he have a bedroom in your apartment?
Yes, sir.
Did he like to sleep in that bedroom?
We never saw that.
Where did he sleep?
Bedouin.
Okay, is that kind of his thing?
Yeah.
Is that a habit that he had?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if he did the same thing when he was at the defendant's?
I can't definitively say, but from my time living there, yes.
Okay. Do you know if the defendant was upset about the fact that he wouldn't sleep in his own room?
I cannot say.
Do you know if Kiana wanted you to break that habit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. She spoke to you about that?
Yeah.
Okay. y'all have a funeral for Carter or a service for him?
We had a viewing at the funeral home, and then we also had a balloon release pretty much at the fire station that used to work at.
Okay. And do you recall where the viewing was?
McCullough Funeral Home, off the house.
Was the defendant there?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all interact at all?
I don't think we did. If so, not with.
When you said there was a balloon release,
Yes, sir.
when was that done?
Can't remember the exact date, but it was in December.
Whose idea was that?
Mine,
Was Keon involved in that at all?
not in the plan.
Okay. Did she go?
She did.
Did you have to make her go?
I don't think I made her go, but I suggested it. I would like for her to be there.
So after the balloon release, do you remember when the balloon release was?
The exact date?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact date, but I have pictures I can look back.
Well, I mean, so did the viewing happen first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then there was a balloon release?
Yes, sir.
Was it a few days, a couple weeks later?
I said maybe 2 weeks later, 2, 3 weeks later.
And did you and the defendant stay in contact after that balloon release?
So,
Seldom? Did you guys ever discuss Carter?
yes, sir.
What was that discussion?
Just in the time frame after that. Most times, if we were to discuss Carter, it'll mainly be pertaining the happenings of him not being here, or the investigation and the prolonged autopsy results. It would mainly be something around that basis of what's going on with the case.
Okay. And any time did you have a conversation with the defendant about Keon Benton's potential involvement?
We had one interaction where it was when we got the preliminary autopsy results back, and when we got the preliminary autopsy results back, the preliminary results said lacerated liver, and I was a little mad, angry, and I was on the phone with her, and she got the results as well. And I told her, I said, Keon, I said, if something comes back that said this guy did something to my kid, I don't know what I'll do.
How did she respond to that?
She responded by pretty much telling me, she said, how can you even say something like that? He would never do nothing like that. And he was a better father to Carter than I was.
Was she mad that you said that?
Our tone, yes,
Did she cuss you out?
that's all she said at the time.
You guys talk more about the situation than just that time, right? So, I mean, have you guys had other conversations
Yes, we
about what happened?
not about what happened, but we've kept somewhat of an open contact, but we never really talked about what happened.
Well, but did she ever say what she thought happened?
No,
Did she ever blame Keon?
no,
Did she ever get mad at you about the fact that it happened?
listen.
What happened and what was that?
It was a conversation we had where she stated that I should have been there to take care of him. I should have took over work and I should have had him. And if it wasn't for that, this whole thing would have happened.
So because you didn't take off work to take care of Carter, none of this would have happened?
I don't know, possible.
Do you know what she was referring to when she said none of this would happen?
No, sir. I guess just speculating out. As
I
far
don't,
as,
I don't need to speculate, but I mean, if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't
Sorry to cut you off.
know.
But you would, or at least did on one occasion, try to get information from her about what happened, right?
Yes, sir.
And what would she tell you?
She would not tell me anything, just saying she don't know what happened. Maybe he jumped off of his bed, or maybe some type of accident happened that she don't know.
Okay. Did she say anything about him being sick?
Only when we initially talked, when she told me to take off of work.
Is that weekend, is that the only time that she had kind of refused you access to him?
Yes, sir.
Because earlier you said that, I think you said that you knew you were blocked because it had happened before. But that was the first weekend where you weren't just blocked, you couldn't even speak to Carter.
That was when I was blocked for at the same time. Most of the times, if she blocked me, it would be for a couple hours or not even a day.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Burns, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ambrose, good afternoon. My name is Jeff Grove. I'm a lawyer from Warner Road. A few questions if I may. When did you and Ms. Davis start seeing each other? Were you with the Warner Robins Fire Department at that time?
Before we met, no, I was,
All right. And where did y'all meet? Did y'all meet in Warner Robins or somewhere else?
we met in Warner Robins.
All right. At some point in time, y'all moved in together, is that right?
Yes, sir.
When?
2017.
2017, okay. And y'all moved into Sandpiper Apartments, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that's off of Russell Parkway in Warner Robins, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
When y'all moved in together, was it just you two?
I lived in an apartment first, and then she moved in after she was pregnant.
All right. And was she teaching school then?
No, she was not.
Was she working in a dermatologist's office then?
Initially, when she first moved in, she was working at FedEx.
Working at FedEx, and then did she go to work at the dermatologist's office?
She worked at a dermatologist's office when we moved to the second apartment.
All right, well, let's, I want to make sure we have a good timeline here. So, Carter was born on January the 1st, January the 14th of 2018, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and, when he was born, you and Miss Davis lived there in Sandpiper Apartments, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say that's where the child was conceived at?
Yes, sir.
Within a couple days of Carter being born, he had to go to the hospital, is that right?
That's not right.
He didn't go to the hospital?
No, he did not.
When did he go to the hospital at all during, say, the first month of his life?
I think he went to the hospital maybe 1 month or 2 months after, but not the first week or the second week.
Okay. And when he went to the hospital, were you employed by the fire department?
Yes, sir.
And where did Carter go to the hospital at? Which hospital?
More than likely it'll be,
And if you don't know, that's fine.
yeah, I don't know.
You don't know where he was in the hospital at?
I'm not sure which time you're talking about.
I'm talking about the first time after he was born.
I don't know.
But nonetheless, you and Miss Davis were living together in Sandpiper Apartments.
Yes, sir.
And that was in 2018, correct?
2017 is when we lived together. That's when we started living together.
Okay, but when Carter was born, Miss Davis brought him back to your apartment there in Sandpiper, is that right?
Yes, we both brought him back.
Both brought him back, okay. And that you three lived there together, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And, you lived there in that apartment there at Sandpiper, the three of you, until when?
Until the following year. We stayed in that apartment for 1 year of Carter's life.
Okay, until 2019,
Yes, sir.
and is that when you and Miss Davis and Carter, moved to these apartments that are off of, Lakeview Road?
Yes, sir.
And that's the apartment that's right there within, say, 200 or 300 yards of the pediatric place, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that was planned, was it not?
No, it's not.
It wasn't planned,
The plan was to have a nice apartment.
having a nice apartment, and the fact that his doctor was there meant nothing.
It might have, but that wasn't the initial.
Okay, I mean, could it have meant something to Miss Davis?
Maybe I cannot say which.
Oh. And during this time, where was Miss Davis working at?
She was in school for a portion of that time.
Was she taking online classes?
The objection sustained.
All
On relevant service.
online classes or in-person classes?
Objection on relevant service.
The objection sustained.
All right. So, so how long was she, when did y'all move into the apartments over there at Lakeview?
I would say March of 2019.
Okay. And when was it that you moved out?
March of 2020.
All right. And was it just you three still there at the apartment when you moved out?
Yes, sir.
And you were still with the fire department, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And, do you know if Ms. Davis was a stay-at-home mom?
For a portion, she was.
Until when?
She got a job at a dermatology office in Lincoln.
All right. Do you know when that was?
I cannot recall.
And did she stay there, the entire time until y'all broke up in March of 2020?
Yes, sir. We're at the dermatologist office.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Headship fell apart in March 2020, is that right?
Yes,
And is that when you were still with the fire department, right?
yes.
And is that when you moved to Caitlin Drive,
Caitlin Circle.
Caitlin Circle? And that's over there near, which fire station is that you were working at then?
Fire station number 6.
And that's, the one, off Osegan.
Yes, sir.
And in Caitlin, where you were living at is, you were living in an apartment right there, is that right? So when you left in March of 2020, did you and Ms. Davis have an agreement as to what sort of child support you would pay?
Yes, sir.
How much?
It was $580.
And that's an agreement that you two made,
Yes, sir.
and were you paying $580 starting in March of 2020?
Yes,
And so you paid for every month until,
until I got court ordered child support.
okay. And the court order for child support, did you have to come down here to this courthouse to get an order to do that?
Yes, sir.
And the amount was $750
Yes, sir.
a month. Was that to come out of from your salary, or did you,
For me to just pay her monthly.
okay, you paid it out on your own, is that right? And you were brought down here for child support
Over.
October, and the money was to start when?
In November.
November, 1st of November?
Yes,
Okay. And would that come in one lump sum payment of $750?
no, sir,
Would it be divided twice a month, type thing?
yes.
All right. And you were saying something about an overpayment, what was that about?
I paid the initial deducted from my,
So Ms. Davis should pay you that money back,
I said if she would like it, she can pay me back.
if she would like.
Yeah, because I won't pay.
That's how you said it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, once again, you kept the child, and you returned the child to Ms. Davis on the Thursday before he died, is that right?
I took him to daycare that morning,
You took him to daycare on that Friday morning,
Thursday morning.
on Thursday morning? Did you pick him up from daycare on Thursday, or did she?
She did.
All right. So you didn't have anything to do with picking the child up on Friday, is that right?
No, sir.
Okay. And I guess at some point in time, you and Ms. Davis talked over the weekend about, well, she called you and wanted to know if you could keep the child. Did she do that on the weekend, or did she do that on the following Monday?
Can you repeat that for me?
Okay. You had testified earlier that you and Ms. Davis had talked, or she had asked you if you could take care of child on Tuesday, the 17th. You recall that?
Yes.
And you told her that you could not because you had not your fire job, but a job as part-time job as EMS. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you say anything to her that you would watch the child if she gave you that $350 back?
Incorrect. No,
That's incorrect.
that's wrong.
Oh. Now, but nonetheless, you did not agree to keep Carter on that Tuesday, is that right?
I did not.
And you could have gotten that at a part-time job, couldn't you?
Yes, I could.
Pardon?
Yes, I could.
But you just didn't want to.
I didn't want to because I did not see my child for the entire weekend until Ms. Davis sprung upon me randomly after not talking to her or the kid for 3 days pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I was texting saying, hey, you need to take off of work tomorrow.
But you could have seen Carter that entire Tuesday, couldn't you? Couldn't you?
Yes, I could.
But because you and Ms. Davis were being disagreeable with each other, you drew the line in the sand. Is that a fair statement?
She drew the line in the sand when she told me, I can't see my child, I can't FaceTime my child. There was a line in the sand.
But she offered for you to be able to see the child the next day.
After he was sick and about to die.
Okay, all right. Well, how did you know he was, did that go into your thought processes that you knew he was about to die?
No, sir.
No, even though you were under a child support order, you didn't have any sort of, anything in writing approved by the court as to what sort of visitation rights you would have. Is that correct?
No, sir.
And for the most part, you and Ms. Davis got along pretty good about that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Just like a germ. the child off at daycare, it starts on that Thursday morning. That's the last time she saw him.
Yes, sir.
How many other times did Ms. Davis refuse you over the months to be able to see the child?
She would not.
Pardon?
She would not.
She would not.
No, sir.
Did she ever refuse you FaceTime before?
No, sir.
So this was the only time?
Yes, sir.
When you talked to her on that Monday about whether or not you could watch the child on Tuesday, did she mention to you that Mr. Benton was watching the child?
No, sir.
Did you know that he was watching the child?
I don't recall.
And you say you met this Mr. Benton a time or two, is that right?
Once.
Once, was that at the fire station?
Yes, sir.
And Carter was there, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that went okay, did it not?
No, it did not.
Did the meeting didn't go okay?
No.
Was there a confrontation of some sort?
It was I wouldn't really say competition, it was a disagreement.
Disagreement between who?
Me and Ms. Davis.
You and Ms. Davis?
Yes.
I mean, you resented the fact, I guess, that she brought the child over there to your place of work?
Can you repeat that?
Pardon?
Can you repeat your sentence? Can you repeat what you said?
Were you upset with Ms. Davis because she brought the child over to your place of work?
No, sir. I love when you come to my job.
But there was a disagreement? Is that because Mr. Denton was there?
It was a disagreement on meeting Mr. Bennett at the time.
It was just for a few minutes, was it not?
To meet him,
Right.
she brought Carter over to the fire station. It was a Saturday. She brought him over because she said that he's been sad and he's been moping around, and she would like for me to just, bring him over to the fire station so he can play. And she did. She advised, hey, just to let you know, my boyfriend's with me. I said, that is fine. That's okay. He came, we played around the fire station for about, say, 30 minutes. And then after that, that's when she came and said, all right, it's time to go. I asked Ms. Davis, I said, hey, would you mind if I meet your boyfriend? Since he's around my kid, I'd like to put a face to the name.
All right.
And she said, no, he would not like to meet you. So that made me say, I don't care if you're around my child, I'm going to know who you are.
Okay. Was this on the Saturday before the child died?
No, sir.
How far in the past was that?
Me and my son, we went on vacation to visit our mom, to visit my mom in October. We came back October 18th, October 19th. That was the following weekend after that, so it was still in October.
Okay, so that's the only, did you ever meet Mr. Benton then?
I attempted to meet him. I said I will meet this guy, so I walked to the car and tapped on the glass. He didn't get out of the car. He rolled the car window down. I said, hey, I'm Kadeem, I'm Carter's dad. Shook his hand, and that's our only interaction.
So there wasn't any problem between you and he?
No, it was not.
Did you have any other problems or repercussions for Ms. Davis because of this meeting?
No, sir.
No. Just a second, Chuck, please. And I mean, sir, once again, you moved out in March of 2020, is that right?
Yes, sir.
During that period of time, of course, your baby died in November. During that period of time, did you yourself have a girlfriend that lived with you?
No, sir.
You never had a girlfriend that lived with you?
No, sir.
Did you ever have a girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
I was dating a girl named Tierra.
Tierra. And did you have the occasion to have Ms. Davis meet her?
No, sir.
You didn't want that then?
If it happened, it happened, but she never really.
And Mr. Ambrose, you are currently in Gwinnett County, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which fire department you work for?
Gwinnett County Fire and Emergency Services.
Okay. Yes, I don't have anything else. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. You may stay or go as you wish, please.
Ooh, let's get into this. I've been watching y'all's comments. I knew it was going to get y'all mad. I knew it because I was too. Oh, yeah, I was. Hey, Nisi Poo. Good morning, babe. Let's start from the beginning. Smiley said, it's sad she used that baby as a pawn in her sick game. Now she wants to blame the dad. I think she wanted him to get Carter because she wanted him to be the fall guy for what they did. I agree. Just like the DA said, if it didn't happen, if nothing was wrong with him at daycare Thursday, when the father dropped him off, if nothing was wrong with him Thursday, everything was fine Friday. The grandfather said everything was fine Saturday. He was with nobody but you and your boyfriend. How can you say that you don't know what happened? But Tuesday morning, you wanted the father to take off work and get Carter after he had been sick Sunday and Monday. You didn't take off work Monday. You didn't take off work Tuesday, but you wanted the father to take off work to get Carter, but you wouldn't take off work to get Carter. I definitely agree with you, Smiley. They wanted the baby to be in possession of the father, in custody of the father, I should say, because he's not a possession. But they wanted Carter to be in custody of the father when whatever ultimately happened to Carter happened. I agree. Smiley says, what does him not keeping Carter have to do with what they did to him? Nothing. Nothing at all. And I know that was a rhetorical question, like you were venting. I get it. But you're right. It had nothing to do with it. I dare say it's why it happened, though. I dare say that boyfriend did something to this baby. Absolutely. And I believe that she treated that baby wrong. And that's why she won't point the finger at the boyfriend, because the boyfriend will then come out and say, I was following suit, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Smiley says, also, why should he have to take off of work to see his son on her terms? You know, that's one of the things that has always burned my ass about parents or so-called parents that think that they can dictate when a child sees a wanting, a desirable parent. What I mean by that is a parent who wants to be in their child's life. Parents put a price tag on visitation, therefore putting a price tag on their child's happiness. And what I mean by that is, let's look at it like this, guys. What about the mama, like me, when I was in the midst of my struggle? I didn't have 2 goddamn nickels to rub together. So what do I look like? saying to my kid's father, I don't give a damn what you do. You need to get me some money or you won't get to see your kid. I don't think that's fair. I see my kids and I don't have no money. Albeit I didn't have any money because I'm paying the bills. But that has nothing to do with my child's happiness. My child didn't ask to be here. So therefore, it ain't my child's fault for the reason why I'm broke. So what do I look like telling my kid's father, if you don't have no money, you can't see my kid. Therefore, if you don't have any money, my kid won't be happy. I don't like those kinds of parents. I don't like them. Our children are not bartering chips. You pay me, you can see your kid. You pay me, you can see your kid. No, you pay me and I'll think about whether or not my kid can be happy. I don't like that kind of shit. Should both parents be financially responsible for a child? Absolutely. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about financial responsibility. I'm talking about a child's happiness. They are two different things. And I dare say to anybody who got a problem with what I'm saying, your child does not care whether or not you and daddy getting along. That child don't care. That child don't have nothing to do with that. Your child wants to see his other parent. The other parent loves the child. He may not give a fuck about you no more, but that ain't the child's problem, nor is it the child's fault. But oftentimes, children are put in the middle and are used as tug of war, and I hate parents that do that shit. It's not right, and it needs to stop. Because this is why this is happening to babies. This is happening to children because of disgruntled or pissed off or jealous, envious parents. That's why this is happening. Jealous that the parent that no longer wants me still wants to love our child. So I'm going to be a parent that's jealous about that shit. So I'm going to use it as a bartering chip. I ain't make these kids by myself. I ain't going to take care of these kids by myself. That has nothing to do with happiness. Child support is to help maintain the child's living. That has nothing to do with the child being happy. Nothing. Because if you flip it and you say a father who pays child support but never visits his child, oh, then you're mad about that too. You're mad about that too. So which is it? Because you can't have it both goddamn ways. You can't have it both ways. So that's why I say one thing has nothing to do with the other. Finances and happiness. Two different sides of the spectrum here. Two different sides. Stop involving the children in your unhappy ass relationships. Stop that. Cut it the fuck out. Because with parents like her, we're diminishing the children of our future. That's what's happening. Children are not bartering chips. And that goes to what I said how many days ago? He decided to bust a nut. You decided to give birth. Period. Absolutely, Smiley. So then Smiley says, also, why should he take off work to see his son on her terms? You see what I'm saying? It's all about control. Children are not pawns. If you're really concerned about your child being healthy and happy, that is priceless. You cannot put a price on that. You can't. I see some of the happiest children, and they don't fit the picture of money. They don't fit the picture of suburban kids. They don't, but they happy. They don't even know that they shouldn't be looking the way that they're looking. They don't even know they're kids. All they know is that they're happy. That's how a kid's life should be. Kids don't expect, we're talking about a 2-year-old here, not a 10-year-old, not a 15-year-old. We're talking about a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old does not give a fuck about a label on his clothes. The 2-year-old does not give a damn about whether or not we live in Circle, Drive, Avenue, Street. They don't care. He's 2. All he knows is that he hasn't seen his daddy. But the mama want to control shit. She wants to control how all that works. Just because you give birth don't mean that you're in control. Because remember, you didn't make that baby by yourself. You see how that works? See how that comes back around? Now, a parent who's not even trying to be in a child's life, that's how you should base that opinion or that decision on whether or not the parent should see the child. Not based on a monetary value. That's a separate issue. Because where you decide to live, that's your choice. That's your choice. Not the amount of child support that you get. Because quite frankly, you should already be stable. Child support should not dictate where you live. Fuck out of here. These kids ain't no celebrities. Chris Brown baby mama can make that kind of decision. What kind of mansion she chooses to move into. Look at what she's getting. Of course, we ain't talking about celebrities. We're talking about everyday, got to get up and go to work type people. The child support that you give for that baby should not dictate where you live. Your finances should dictate where you live. Child support is extra. Does it help pay the light bill? Yeah. Does it help pay the gas bill? Buy new coat for the baby for the winter time? Buy the summer wardrobe and all that? Of course. Does it pay for summer programs or camp or whatever? Yeah. But it shouldn't dictate where you live because your rent is your responsibility, not the daddy's. Child support is extra. It's extra. It's not first and foremost. People need to get that shit through their fucking head. Children is not the reason why you upgrade. Let me put it that way. Maybe then they'll understand. See, when you start speaking that real responsible shit, motherfuckers leave the room because they don't want to hear that kind of shit. But that's some real shit. Your children's child support is not the reason why you upgrade. You go from a Pinto to a Caddy. Excuse the fuck out of me? Can you afford that? Not with child support. Can you afford it? Because guess what? When the daddy, if something happens to the other parent, can you still afford that damn car? Huh? If something happens to the other parent, can you still afford to live where you live? What if he loses his job? Can you still afford to live there? That's why you don't base your economic living on child support. Because what if that parent loses their job? Now what? Now it's his fault you getting evicted because you can't pay the rent or you can't pay the mortgage. You're about to lose your house. It's about to go into foreclosure. See, that's the kind of stuff that these hood rats don't think about. That's the kind of shit that these envious ass mamas and jealous ass daddies don't think about. You got some niggas out here talking about you married. He can do it. Excuse the fuck out of me. He didn't help me take care of this kid. Make this kid. And if you're getting up going to work every day, you're supposed to financially take care of this child. Oh, but wait a minute though. I will pack groceries and bring your son to you. You want him? Oh, I did it, y'all. Oh, that's a motherfucking fact. Sean B did that. If my son said he wanted to go see his daddy and I called his daddy and his daddy said, well, Sean, we don't have no food. Well, what y'all need? I'll stop at the store on the way. What you need? I've packed groceries. Be there at 6 o'clock. See you there. Oh, I've done it. And y'all know what that son of a bitch did? That son of a bitch took them groceries and put them in him and his sorry ass bitch's bedroom behind closed doors. They didn't put it in the kitchen where it belonged. Oh no. When my son called me and told me about that, oh, I was front and center. Give me my son. You and that broke bitch can have them groceries. Give me my son. And it'll never happen again. And so it never happened again. But I've done it because my son's happiness was what was paramount to me. That's what was important to me. If I needed a break, it was time for the kids to take a nap. I wasn't carting them off to their father's house. Fuck for. He ain't asked for him. But I didn't take a daddy to child support. They knew they had a fucking kid out here living and breathing and needing. But ultimately, it was my decision. I didn't use my children as bartering chips. And neither the hell should anybody else. When you decide to give birth, you accept full responsibility. It's always been daddy's maybe. You ain't got to agree with it. That's what the fuck it is. But this bitch wanted to control the situation. She had the fucking audacity to tell him, take off work. How you gonna tell this man to take off work, but then you don't want to give him back the overpayment of child support? Because he didn't understand the system, he sent you the $350, thinking that that's what he had to do. Turn around and a few days later, it was indeed deducted from his check. He like, yo, you got $700. You only supposed to have $350. Can you send me my money back? She said, hell no, I'm not sending you shit. But mind y'all, he had been giving her $500 and something a month. $500 and something a month before the order was even put in place. So he wasn't no deadbeat dad. He wasn't no absentee father either. So he was well within his rights to say, yo, cut me some slack here, man. Can you send me that money back? She said, no. He keep asking. She said, listen, I'm not. He said, okay, well, can I see my son? She said, no. Mind you, this bitch done got $700, $350 of which she wasn't entitled to. That was his mistake. But he said, okay, fuck it. He relented. He said, just let me see my son. She said, no. And this is the last time I'm going to tell you. Stop asking. And then the bitch blocked him. Blocked him. That's the kind of bitch I can't stand. Then there's the incident where they show up at his job. Why are you bringing that kid up to his job? Why are you doing that? Because you just got to be on the scene, don't you? You hungry bitch. You just got to be in the midst of some shit, don't you? He said, cool, this is my baby. I don't give a fuck about it. You could just stand there. I don't care. Come on, son. They gone around the fire station. I dare tell y'all, a kid, especially a boy, at a fire station is the most beautiful thing. Oh, man, it's like a big-ass playground for them. Oh, they love it. Children love the big red truck. They love it. And he says, well, yo, you know, can I meet your dude? He be around my son. Anybody around my son, I wanna put a face to this person you keep talking about. Cause see, he wasn't mad. He had a girl. He had to moved on. You could tell by this man's demeanor, and I think I love him. You could tell by his motherfucking demeanor, he cool. He cool. She said no, but I think about it. Excuse the fuck out of me? Excuse me? Then we find out that it's probably because he wasn't pushing his current girlfriend at the time in her face. But like he said, she never asked. See, he asked because he's an on-hands, on-time dad. See, father is only DNA. Dad is in the heart. Father just means it was my nutsack that created you or helped to create you. A dad is a motherfucker that's there on time, all the time, ready, willing, and able. That's a dad. There's a difference. So one day she show up and motherfuckers in the car. He said, yo, can I meet him now? She like, whatever. So he go over. This son of a bitch, coward ass motherfucker won't even get out the car. Why the fuck is you in your feelings, nigga? You fucking my leftovers. But you're helping to take care of my son. And I'm supposed to trust that you a man about your business? You won't even get out the car and greet me like a man. Look me in my face. Shake my hand. Respect me because I'm already respecting you. I'm asking to meet you. I'm asking for us to gain a rapport because now we have someone in common. My son, my seed, my legacy, my love that you're with whenever you're there. And I don't even know how often it is, but it is. And this son of a bitch rolls down the window. To any man, to any parent, they'd feel some type of way, and he did. But he said, he stifled it. However he was feeling, he stifled it. He said, hey, I'm Carter's dad. Nice to meet you. They shook hands. This son of a bitch rolled the window back up. No respect. None. What is the energy for? What is that? What is that? Because a month later, Carter was gone. If even a month, when you're counting days. But the following month, Carter was dead. So come on now. Linda says, facts, Smiley. That is a real definition of deadbeat mother. She just wanted all control, and when things didn't go her way, the baby had to suffer. I can only imagine things that the baby had to deal with on an original basis, on a regular basis. Absolutely. Smiley says, yes, Linda. It also sounds to me like she knew what was happening with Carter because all of a sudden she denied him visits and FaceTime calls. She was trying to hide what happened. See, a 2-year-old can say, my tummy hurt. A 2-year-old can say, he did it, or mommy did it, or mommy hit me, or Kadeem kicked me. A 2-year-old can say that. Linda says you should never involve a child in grown people mess, period. Smiley says it should be against the law to use a child like that. They should lose custody. I meant to turn these comments on, dang it. They should lose custody to the other parent. Just my opinion. I agree with you, Smiley. Any iota of a parent being envious, jealous, deadbeat, that should right there start the paperwork. Period. Start the paperwork. Because, see, people don't get to pick and choose when we're supposed to, what we're supposed to put a red flag on. It's oftentimes once something happens to a child that people say, you didn't see the red flags? Yeah, but see, at the first iota of jealousy, if a father say, oh, let me get custody of my son, something about to happen to my child, the first thing a stupid motherfucker want to say is, what? She ain't even did nothing. So what the fuck is he supposed to do? Wait until we have a Carter at 2 years and 10 months with a lacerated liver? That's what we're supposed to wait for. Huh? That's what we're supposed to wait for. Or like the story with Tiffany Moss, where the grandmother sees her granddaughter, this stepmama done shaved her, done cut her fucking hair. Baby had ponytails down her back. This jealous bitch cut the baby's hair, talking about if you act ugly, you supposed to look ugly. No, bitch, that's you. That's not a child. She literally, systematically, and mechanically starved that child to death. The grandmother was begging for custody. Please give me back my granddaughter. I'm telling y'all, my granddaughter looked like this. She looks like that. Look at the pictures. The aunties is saying, what's going on? She's disappearing. Every time she come over, she's skinnier than the last time. Come on now. So when we try to jump ahead and do the right thing, why? Ain't nothing happened. Then when something happened, why you ain't do something? You didn't see the red flags? What the fuck is wrong with people, man? What is wrong with people? And just because you the mama's friend don't mean that the red flags don't exist. Just because you the daddy's girlfriend don't mean that the red flags don't exist. Because as soon as something happens, first thing motherfuckers want to say is, I never would have thought. I never would have thought. Yes, the fuck you did. You saw it just like everybody else. Well, Sean B., why you cussing so much? Because I'm mad as fuck. I don't like when children have to suffer from the sins of their parents. Your daughter don't give a damn that you mad at her father. Your son don't give a fuck because you jealous. These kids are not the reason why y'all didn't work out. You have no business having any hatred in your heart because the other parent loves their child. And don't get mad at the kids if you had a kid to keep that nigga and that nigga showed you, I still don't want you. I'm sorry. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we not going to act like them kind of people not out there. We're not going to act like we don't know a chick or two that's got a fucking tribe of kids. Because she had a baby thinking she could hold on to a nigga. We ain't gonna act like we don't know that exists. We're not gonna do that. Linda says, like my mother always say, you lay down to have a baby. Now it's your responsibility to take care of your baby. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it the father's responsibility to contribute financially? Of course it is. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't get to see the children just because he don't have the money. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Absolutely nothing. Your child's happiness should not be contingent upon your bank account. Who the fuck do you think you are? Now, if the parent's not trying to be in the child's life, that's different. That's different. And if the parent pop up out of nowhere, you better be paying the fuck attention. Yeah, I'll meet you at the park. Yeah, we could spend a couple hours at the park while you chill with your son. No, you're not coming to get my daughter, taking my daughter nowhere. Where the fuck you been? What's been going on in your life? No, you can't just come get her, but you can come see her. We can meet somewhere while y'all spend time together, but you're not just gonna pop up out of no goddamn where, out of fucking oblivion somewhere, and think you just gonna take my heartbeat away from me and spend time with them. No, fuck you. I don't know you anymore. Where you been? I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know what the hell you got going on. No, I'm not going to deny you to see your child, but I will deny you from taking my child somewhere. And I don't know where you've been, who you've been around, or what you got going on. That's a responsible parent. Like it or not. You one of them chicks that's talking about, pay me. I need my motherfucking child support. You're a sorry ass. Because like I said, child support has nothing to do with your child's happiness. Nothing. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Your child is not saying, Mommy, did Daddy send his child support today? Because I want to go with him this weekend. That ain't what the fuck your son is saying to you. Mommy, did Daddy give you some money? Because I want to go over his house. That's not what your child is saying to you. And if your child is saying that to you, you're a piss poor ass mother because you got your kids all in your sorry ass conversations that they could even come out their mouth and say something like that. That is totally out of pocket. Utterly out of pocket. Hey, Sylvia. Thank you for joining us, love. Your name looks familiar, but I ain't seen you in a minute, boo. Thank you, baby. Thank you for coming. Like, I'm serious, y'all. This is the kind of conversation that needs to be had. I see y'all hitting those emojis. Thank y'all for the love, babies. But this is the kind of conversation that needs to be had. All the wickedness going on in the world and all the motherfucker could think about is the mighty dollar. What about your child's happiness? Because I guarantee you it's priceless. Bill Gates can't buy your child happiness. He can buy them stuff. But if his other parent isn't there, guess what? And if that's what it is that child desires, guess what? All that stuff does not replace his daddy. Listen, y'all, Doobie used to climb up when his father came home from work. Doobie would climb up one side of that man and slide down the other side. Oh, man, listen, his father's entire body was Doobie's playground. Like, he just played. Oh, man, listen. Mommy ceased to exist when Daddy walked in the room. Mommy was good for giving baths, cook food, feed me, and change my dookie diapers. Because Doobie didn't let nobody else change his diapers. If he needed his diaper change, he came to me. I didn't teach that to him. That's just what he did. But when it came to who was his person, it was his dad and his sister. That's it. And then as he got older, He noticed, oh, these guys are kind of cool too. Those guys, they were his brothers. Oh yeah, these dudes are kind of cool too. This one takes me outside to the ice cream truck. I kind of like him. But as far as the other parent is concerned, shit. Man, listen. I was the disciplinarian. His father would say, here come your mama, Dubia, get somewhere and sit down. It was the funniest stuff because his father would record it and show it to me later on. But his father was his world, man. And when our relationship did hit a hiccup at one time, I told him, I will never keep your son away from you. He loves you. This ain't got nothing to do with Doobie. Ever. I would never do that. But you got bitches out here that don't see it that way. And I'm talking about the parents that want to be in the kid's life. They put a bartering price on their children. And we end up with Carters. Let's continue. Smiley says, yes, I've seen mothers send food as well, just so their child could see their dad. Absolutely, Smiley. I was one of them. That's period, point blank. Period. Lady said, and then blocked them. Yes, she did. She said, don't ask me again. It's the last time I'm going to tell you. Who the fuck? Yo, when I read that text, I wanted to reach through into that courtroom and smack the shit out of her. Smiley said, yes, Sean, at the first sign of any red flags. Absolutely. Smiley, you remember that case? All right. That case was horrible. Horrible. Thank you, Miss Williams. Thank you, Sylvia. We need more mothers to have these conversations with the females that they're around. Just have a table talk conversation. Just the fuck because. Especially when your circle, the age groups that vary, especially wisdom is valuable for a reason. Absolutely. I talk to Drip all the time. She listening. I talk to Drip all the time. And I try to give this young lady as much jewels that I have to give. Because, see, I had to learn it on my own, y'all. I had to learn it on my own. My mom only had one sister. My father only had one brother. So I had to learn what I learned along the way. Life taught me the jewels that I possess. Life did that. Nobody sat down and gave me what I'm given every day. Nobody did. That's why God gets all of my glory. All of it. That's a fact, Smiley. Smiley says, these are hard conversations that no one wants to deal with. That's a fact. That's a fact. You saw how conveniently people started dropping out the live because they don't want to hear it. People really have a problem with the truth, Smiley. They have a problem with the fact that they disagree with what you're saying. It's okay to disagree. But you cannot negate the truth. You ain't got to agree with it, but it is what it is. Linda says, I understand because I was daddy's little girl. See, I wasn't. Y'all understand me? I've said it since the beginning of time. I was not raised by my parents. My parents had better things in their mind to do. I was raised by my family. Okay? I was raised by family members. So while I knew that I was with relatives, I never really always felt like family. You understand what I'm saying? My aunt, who raised me, her sister, treated me like family. She treated me like she loved me. She talked to me about stuff every now and then. But if I didn't understand, she didn't have time to explain, but she dropped it. Then I had to go learn about it, if y'all understand what I'm saying, because I'm not contradicting what I said when I said my family didn't teach me this. I had to get it along the way. She would drop it, and then I'd have to go, you know what I mean? Oh, that's what Auntie meant about that. Oh, that's what Auntie meant about that. You understand what I'm saying? No long, drawn out conversations, girl time type of stuff. No. She was too busy. She had to go do something. We got to take the time, y'all, before we end up with more Carters. We got to take the time before we end up with more Gabriels. Gabriel was such a sad story. Gabriel Hernandez, I believe was his last name, out of California. Very, very sad story. It brings tears to my eyes when I think about what happened to that child. His mama was a wicked, evil bitch. Oh, she was a dog. Oh, man, lady. Gabriel was failed in so many different ways. His mother was a mangy dog, the way they treated that baby. Her boyfriend was the devil. Oh man, y'all, that story was, oh my God, it's heartbreaking. If any of you guys want to go watch it, it's on Netflix. What happened to Gabriel? Smiley says, but they want to cry about it when it's too late. I have daughters, so we've had these conversations. I made my own laws for what they could and couldn't do with my grandchildren, and I stood on it. You motherfucking right, Smiley. You motherfucking right. My daughter saw what I did with them. And she tried to enact the same thing where my grandsons are concerned, and due to certain decisions of the father, she just had to stop. And then she heard my grandson telling his little brother one time, I don't know what you're doing that for, brother. Daddy's not going to. Lord, you're talking about broke my heart. Because in that moment, it was a demonstration to my daughter that her son sees it. He sees it. He knows it. And he's sharing it with his brother. Stop wasting your time, bro. Daddy ain't gonna do it. That is heartbreaking. Oh my God. Oh my God. This case is on verdict watch, y'all. They closed their cases Wednesday, and we're now on verdict watch. As of the end of Wednesday, the jury had sent a note to the judge saying, first they had a question about one of the charges, the definition and things. So the judge responded, made sure that she understood what they were talking about, what they were asking, I should say. And then after meeting with both sides, they approved the response she was going to send back. One second, guys, I need to blow my nose. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. After they approved her response, she sent it back and found out a few hours later that there was one juror that said, and the foreman quoted this juror having said, "Nothing is going to change my mind, and I will never in a million years." That's what the juror said. And so the juror claimed that she was being attacked by 4 other jurors, verbally, I'm sure. And the judge talked to both sides, both parties, and said, the defense and the prosecution, and asked them, did they agree, because there wasn't going to be court on Thursday, to just give the jurors a chance to go home Wednesday evening, be with their families, digress, just downgrade, just be still on it. Don't think about it. Just put it over there, leave it there. Have all day Thursday to do what they want to do. Right? Because when you're on a jury, if there's no court on Thursday, it doesn't mean you have to go to work. Your job, as long as you're a juror, that's your job. So when there's no court on Thursday, that's like you have a day off. And so the judge said, they'll have all day Thursday to just be with themselves, just get a chance to cool off, calm down, and we'll see what happens Friday. So I'm going to look and see if there has been any movement. Looks like a hung jury, y'all. Hold on. Looks like a hung jury.
Okay. Is this number 4? No. 5. 5, please. Go.
There were 2 questions on one note.
Right.
This is number 4.
Okay. All right, this says, can the jury review the dash cam video at the apartment? Yes. So, Mr. Dwayne, get that queued up for me. I will note that this note is not from the person who was identified as the 4-person initially. I don't know that it matters particularly, but I think that I'm going to advise them to, that the 4-person needs to communicate each juror's request to me going forward. Does anybody have any objection to that? I think that's just proper. So I'm just gonna say we will get that set up.
Maybe somebody else will take it over.
Maybe that, you know, so.
I was the person there. I was there with them. Well, I was there with them. And they were all pretty distraught.
They've all been since day one a part of the reconciliation. I never have to ask. And I go in there and they automatically know.
Let me grab the So, are you dad or you dad? Okay. So dad, the EMT has showed up? Okay. What's his name? I am. Mom said that or I think. What is birthday? Okay. You know where he lives?
Yeah, he lives right next to the fire department on Kimberly. Right here, station number 6. Right.
Oh, okay, over by all the
Yeah, like right in that little some townhomes right over
You know what the address is over there?
Okay, what's your address? 230 Caitlin Circle. Kateelyn Circle. Am I right, Georgia? 3108? Okay. I'm waiting on the cop that can over there because we can't go in and we'll get a house again or whatever. Mine. I thought you.
What's the phone number you just called out?
Phone number is 478
Yes, ma'am.
988 7199.
Okay. Thank you. I forgot to get this information on there. So, was that good news? Oh, yes, yours. Completely, had this one personal note. I'm gonna write down my name, and y'all go to the services form, you call the police department, and leave a message form. I really appreciate it. And I understand that emotions run high. I just let you know, I had yelled at him. He was sitting in the tailpipe of the ambulance, and I actually talked to the EMT after he was like, "You're gonna pull him over." And at one point I was, and I was like, "No, they got an ambulance in front of me behind, nobody's gonna go in between."
I'm here for so far, and I'm just trying so hard to get here.
The good thing is, when we had election on there, we had officers from over here, and you look so. That's why we were sitting about here primarily, and I was trying to do around that thing, looking for whole day because of this passing. At that point, that's the least you're concerned.
Oh, yes, now.
I don't want you to cry. I don't need you to be one of our loving visitors. Please put that on. Is that what you want? was acting so all.
And that's why I say my baby, every firefighter, you think he's a firefighter? I do.
He was a straight person. We contact Huffman and email and then run with everything. So, we're gonna to get out here, so people like, you know, it's like a house. Y'all want more? How's it going? A little more. Get home. Get home. Unfortunately, I've dealt with stuff like this quite a few times, and it won't keep you until a day to a day, a week or two. And then all of a sudden, you'll feel a degree. But let me preface that by also saying, know that if you do start to progress, go into that different okay? Surreal.
Yeah. That was they on the street, they put us in front. And I was so adamant about not letting him go. I did not want him to go to the whole meeting and all other stuff with him. That's what the family did, so they didn't have even got to see him. This was just a month ago, in October. And, he hadn't seen him in a year, so I didn't let him go there with him.
So you did let him go?
I let him go.
You have to know the mom, okay?
And he was over there. And now they're like, grateful that they got to see him for that. Like, it wasn't what they was called that.
In Georgia. CBI is like the FBI in Georgia. So literally, like, we get DUI, we get blood from somebody, they get shot, and a high profile case that happens where they get that done.
He's gonna move to the bed, we're gonna do 4 hours, bed, yeah. I'm hoping.
Going, start going, thousands, so they know that.
Man, you live here in Pittsburgh, right? So, you live in the park with you? No, this. Oh, it's all right. But, anyways, Rich, thank you. Ladies home, or I let you finish saying there, what you said. If you have some shares, office, or on the police department, should serve presidents, if they any item related to status, if they need necessary photos. I understand I have the right to withdraw the scene at any time, and of course, the search warrant is
You can drop down to the broken couch, and throw the broken floor, I understand. You come up, there's about the broken bed, in the last night. And back in the morning, you said,
I'll do it again.
when you walked out.
President?
I was,
Well, hopefully, let carry along, when you want this. That's all we want to do. You guys are pledging.
I got your note about 4%, and you may resume your deliberations. Thank you. Way, what is the count? Are we comfortable with that?
Yeah, what is the vote for count? As to the
The jury has sent out a note that they are deadlocked. They did not include a count. I am inclined, obviously I'm going to Allen charge them. I am inclined to ask them without which way, but just ask them for a count. Because I think it matters if they're 6'6" or 3'9", or what have you. Or I can just read the Allen charge and we can wait on that.
if we are to inquire as to the count, I think we should also inquire in the count, meaning what the vote is between the 12 as to if it's specific to a count, if they have reached a verdict on any count.
I agree. Are they deadlocked on all 7 counts? And if so, without telling me which way, what is the count? Are we comfortable with that?
Yeah, what is the vote for count?
What is the, yes.
And Judge, I'm okay with that. We did that with Judge, on a case I had with Judge Adams. It's the first time that, because the 4-person jury volunteered what the count was.
Right, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
And I don't have a problem.
And it is certainly improper for me to inquire which way. I just am interested, because I think in, evaluating how much longer I ask them to deliberate, that is relevant information for us to consider. And whatever, however y'all want to proceed, so. That count. By that, I mean how many one way, how many the other way. Does that make sense? That there was, at least as to some counts in some opinion yesterday, a juror who had indicated that they were not going to change their mind, but I still think it is probably appropriate to out-charge them before we make any decisions. So, bring them in for me, please. There, 11-1 count. So, I said this all. All right, they are deadlocked on all the counts. The numbers are not the same on all the counts. They range from 11-1 to 7-5. So I'm gonna Allen charge them and we'll see. But it sounds like, and count 1, they're 3-9, count 2, they're 4-8, count 3, they're 9-3, count 4, they're 11-1, count 5, they're 7-5, count 6, they're 7-5, count 7, they're 11-1. So, bring them in for me, please. I'm probably gonna check back with them for lunch at 12:30, 12:45, if they've not opened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've now been deliberating on this case for a period of time, and I think it's proper, based on your notes to me, to advise you further in regard to the desirability of an agreement if possible. Case has been exhaustively tried by both sides. It's been submitted to you for decision and verdict if possible, and not for disagreement. It's the law that a unanimous verdict is required.
And while this verdict must be the conclusion of each juror and not a mere acquiescence of the jurors in order to reach an agreement, it is nevertheless necessary for all jurors to examine the issues and questions submitted to them with candor and fairness and with a proper regard for and deference to the opinions of each other. A proper regard for the judgment of others will greatly aid us in forming our own judgment. Each juror should listen to the arguments of the other jurors with a disposition to be convinced by them. If the members of the jury differ in their view of the evidence, the difference of opinion should cause all of them to scrutinize the evidence more carefully and re-examine the grounds for their opinions. Your duty is to decide the issues submitted to you if you can conscientiously do so. In conferring, you should lay aside all mere pride of opinion and bear in mind that the jury room is no place for taking up one side or the other of a cause or maintaining a spirit of controversy either side of the cause. You should bear in mind at all times that as jurors, you should not be advocates for either side. You should keep in mind the truth as it appears from the evidence, examined in light of the instructions of the court. I'm going to ask you to retire to the jury room for a reasonable time, examine your differences in a spirit of fairness and candor, and try to arrive at a verdict. I will also tell you that if you have a verdict on some counts and not other counts, if you will notify the court of that. All right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll ask you to step back to the jury room. If you need a break, you may ask for one. Just let the bailiff know, but please remember not to talk about the case unless all 12.
All right then. So they've been sent back to deliberate. I hope you guys understand what the Allen charge is. The Allen charge is what you just saw the judge do. The judge has total discretion as to if and when to give a jury the Allen charge, and that's what you saw her doing. She was basically just telling them, listen, I don't know if you guys have, strayed away from the matter at hand, but this is not about your moral compass. This is about the law, and the law as it's been presented to you with the evidence. That is where you find your truth, not in your experiences, not in what somebody said to you, but you find the truth in the evidence. And apparently on certain of all 7 of these counts, on all 7 of these charges, they're hung up in different ways, in different numbers. 11-1 on some, and 9-3 on others, and 7-5 on others. It's crazy. It's crazy, but they are going back to deliberate, and I don't know. I believe in my opinion, I believe some of the jurors believe the boyfriend did it and not her. And so they don't want to convict her because they think he did it. And he's the one who should be standing trial, not her. I think that's what some of them's problem is, but we won't know until we find out. Smiley says, oh wait, let's go back to what we were talking about. Linda says, I think people don't want to hear the truth because society has taught people to glorify the fake narrative, and also people just want growth and maturity. Once growth and maturity comes with growth. Smiley says, yes, that's sad when the children know daddy or mommy is not going to do what they should. Smiley says, wow, how? That means they're going to have to do this again if the state chooses to. Absolutely. Smiley said, I want to know how she can live with herself knowing Someone hurt her baby, and now he's gone. You know, I had saw your comment, Smiley, while we were watching the video. And one thing that I noticed is that she kept moving away from dude. I don't know if y'all realize that. Once he came over to the car where she was standing, which it astounded me how long it took him to do that, because why don't you think your girlfriend needs to be, you know, needs companionship right now? Hold her hand, something. You know what I mean? But he stayed leaning up against that other car. And then once he moved closer to her, she kept moving away. He was at the front of the car. She was on the side of the car. He moved to the side of the car. She moved to where the side mirror was. I don't know if y'all realize that. And then, yeah, he leaned over and he kind of picked something out of her hair or whatever. But she never touched him. She never reached for his hand. There was no togetherness while they were standing out there. She made it a point of letting them know that he didn't live there. I don't believe that. I think he was there more than he was in his own shit. You understand me? I just do. That's just my personal opinion. But it didn't have to be. He didn't have to live there. But I think it's a matter of opinion of what you call living somewhere. All of your clothes don't have to be there for you to. If you're there more than you're in your own spot, you live there. Like, that's just my opinion. So I was wondering if you guys noticed that. Lady says, Smiley, one thing about it, you can't hide from the big man upstairs, from what the big man upstairs has in store for you. That's a fact, lady. Smiley says, I pray they come with the verdict. Lady says, I don't think she did it either, but I do think she knew at the end the boyfriend did. Blinded by love, yet it gives no excuse. When this is your baby, it should have been fuck him, absolutely. But she's guilty as well for knowing and didn't do anything. It's culpability. Yeah. I think they're going to come with the hung jury. I do. I don't think they're going to, I don't think, especially that one person, I don't think she's going to relent at all, because I believe they don't think she did it. They just think she's covering for him. Linda says, I believe she started the abuse and the boyfriend finished. You know what, Linda? I can agree with you on that. I can agree with you on that. I believe the boyfriend picked up on some kind of animosity towards Carter, and therefore the boyfriend just followed suit, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe happened. I sure do. I sure do. I can agree with you on that. But what happened to that baby's liver? Why that baby was so bruised up, all over his body, I don't know. And I was thinking about this yesterday when she was saying that the nurses didn't see the bruises either. Well, the nurses were too busy trying to save your son's life. They were too busy trying to reestablish an airway and a heartbeat. That's why they didn't see bruises. Let's be frank about it. Your baby is a dark-skinned child. He's not a light, bright, or even as light as she is, where the black, blue, purple, green, and yellow bruises would have just popped right out at them. You had to kind of be looking for it. And so I believe that the staff at the doctor's office, having been so well versed in his respiratory issues, that they first and foremost were probably thinking that this baby has stopped breathing because he's had breathing issues. And so that's what they were concentrating on. They weren't examining his body. That wasn't for them to do. He wasn't bleeding. So it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't an injury of sorts. So I believe that's what they were concentrating on. And so they weren't looking at his stomach area. They were concentrating on giving him CPR and establishing an airway. You know, but once the baby got to the hospital, excuse me, once the baby got to the hospital under those bright lights, no clothes, they were able to further examine him more closely. And then forensically, you can't hide anything. They haven't said anything, Smiley. I haven't heard anything as to whether or not they're going to bring charges against the boyfriend. I do believe that with what we've seen, I don't know. They simply don't have the evidence. I mean, all you're doing is swapping one person in place for the other. So you put the mom back at work and you put him in the chair. That's the one thing that the prosecution have going for them as far as the boyfriend is concerned. You were the last one with him. You were the last one with him. When the mom left, he was alive. You take him to the doctor's office, he's dead. I think they should have went there first. I think they should have did the boyfriend first. They would have gotten a conviction like that. I do. Because, you know, while the law may say don't go, I'll put it this way. The law also says use your common sense. Y'all can look it up. When a jury is charged, the judge will say, and use your common sense. 1 + 1 makes 2, y'all. So, I believe had they put the boyfriend, damn it, Sean. Had they put the boyfriend on trial first, I believe the jurors could have come to a conclusion within the evidence and their common sense that if he was alive when the mama left, and when you got him to the doctor's office, he was unconscious, not breathing, and no heartbeat, therefore clinically deceased. First, something happened and you were there. And then they would go into the details of, but wait a minute, because the forensic science shows that this liver and these bruises are in a certain stage, which means this didn't happen this morning. This happened yesterday or the day before. That's why the forensic doctor said from Sunday to Tuesday, giving it 24 to 72 hours. That's the 3 days. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I'm going to keep, looking out for the verdict watch. I will post it on my community wall. You guys make sure you have your notifications set to all so that when I post it, you guys will get the notification. And keep your fingers crossed, man. Or just keep your faith. Because no matter what happens in that courtroom, whoever hurt this child will be dealt with. Will be dealt with. Because like Lady said, ain't got nothing to do with what God gonna do. Can't stop it. Can't prevent it. It is written. Final judgment, it comes from God. And that is what it is. You think the boyfriend was charged too, lady? I haven't seen anything. Send me what you got, boy, and I'll look into it. Send me what you got. I'll definitely pull it up. I know he's out on $15,000 bond as well. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Do you have his name, love? I'll call me when you get home, lady. Call me when you get home. If I do find that there is something going on with the boyfriend, I will call a live and we can meet back here and take a few moments and discuss it, you know, that sort of thing. But call me when you get home, lady, so we could you could show it to me or send it to me or whatever. All right? But I'll be looking out for you guys. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all be careful. Love you guys. Peace out.
Yeah. Sean B on YouTube. Ooh, yeah. Late night on the screen, got the city lights low. Sean B bringing truth to the stories below. From New York with grace and a mind so wise, she can see through the dark, she can read through the lines. Every clue, every name, every twist, every turn, she be